going to be? What are we going to start off with?
Also, I know NayIeen really wanted to see a fire rod or bombs. Veetorp didn't mention too much in his bio, I don't believe. But I'm kind of hoping for a hammer.
Maybe Veetorp was looking for the bow because his starting off, he put the little character there that I don't know what it means, but he put the bow. Early map check, Hera is a 5/6 crystal, and then 2 other crystals are in the light world. So all 3 of the pendants are in dark world. That's going to be, this might be a quicker seed than we expect, because usually when you see 3 pendants in there, that takes out a lot of harder dungeons really fast.
And of course, denser item requirements as well. We could potentially be skipping some normal progression items here. But our uncle here has raced us to the castle and has given us bombs today.
10 bomb start. I like it. It's I'm actually more comfortable with this than most, I think, because I love the fact that you go into CAC with bombs. You don't have to worry about it. And an early fetch quest with a shovel. Oh man, got a mystery man shout out there with the shoveler.
I like it. And this is an interesting find, too, because we have to route this in at some point. You get it right away in Sphere 1. Kind of points you to it. But I'm curious to see as to when they'll choose to go grab that. I have to think that if they go to Kakariko immediately after, they'll do this right after the race game.
I can see that happening. If they do the typical route after leaving Sanctuary, go up, check the Lumberjack Ledge, and then do Lost Woods, go down north to south through CAC, and then check out race game, head right over, do the shovel, and then maybe even just route going to the dam from there, not even do a save and quit, because you're going to be pretty close. So
smooth. Some really sick bombs.
NayIeen knocking out that really quick kill on that blue guard. That was smooth.
I believe that a lot of people who are doing bomb starts in this tournament have been watching some kind of optimal strats from one of our own, Gesellschaft, actually made a couple tutorials for that. I haven't practiced that myself, but it's definitely a skill worth having.
Without a doubt. I mean, especially, that's something you're going to want to know with your tournament stakes being on the line. I still don't have that down. I usually get them stuck in one of the easy spots there, but wow, NayIeen has been practicing that. Like, he almost got that one off pretty easily too, but wow, doing a fantastic job with those bombs.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the rooms that is more of a trip up for most people. Kind of curious to see if Veetorp's, yeah, he actually got that in 2 bombs. Very nice. So there's only 1 bomb difference here.
Yeah, Veetorp's down a bomb from having to lay an extra bomb on the first blue guard. And I believe he had to lay 1 extra one as well for that green guard, but it's still really close. They don't have to use any bombs in this next room. They'll be good to go from here. They don't really have to do any more bombs until they have to get to the key rat, which is, of course, the first and most important boss to fight.
Yeah, definitely. We could call it that. With only 3 or 4 bombs to work with, it's kind of important that we don't miss. And not only that, but it's, oh no, Veetorp ran out of pots to throw.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He's going to have to use 2 bombs, and he at least got both of them off, and that green guard is taking a toll on him. Oh, man.
And I like save and quit just so he can get his bomb back.
I like that. I like that strat. And, of course, he knows that it starts him right there. No time loss, really, just a few seconds. That's that knowledge. That's that knowledge of being one of the programmers of this game. You know where you end up. So that's a great thing to do. Get those bombs back. Puts them back on the even end of things, not having to waste any more bombs. So, but here's the downfall. Still got to kill that guy.
Interesting thing, though, both of our runners, their first green guard drop was a fairy, so I'm wondering if they're going to cycle back through that and try and rely on that later on in the game. Maybe we come back here for Ganon?
It's a possibility, considering so far Escape has been pretty dead. There's been nothing in Escape except for hearts, and not even rupees. Like, we've literally had nothing so far. Don't believe we've seen the map yet, so it's probably going to be in the back 3 chests over here, and in the back of Escape, that bomb wall.
Well, it's not 100% necessary to do so, but Veetorp throwing pots and actually getting a bomb rewarded instantly for killing that guard. So it looks like there is actually a bomb drop in that prize pack.
Also useful this early. That's a very useful piece of knowledge with not having any other weapon other than bombs right now.
Well, it still continues to be very little progression here in the escape. That's just a big 20 in that chest. I don't think we've seen a map either, so there still is a chance that we could skip the sanctuary chest. Big old 3-second time save.
I know, right? Yeah. Just instead of turning slightly to the left, all you have to do is go straight down.
Well, moment of truth here for NayIeen.
Oh, like I said, the first and most important boss.
Oh, this is really bad.
He can't take another. Okay, good. He got it. I was gonna say he can't take another suicide hit because he would have died and had to come all the way back from the beginning, and that would have been unfortunate. But he has one bomb to save. He's going to be able to go back, but all he can do now is just tap that ground. He has no weapons whatsoever.
Yeah, pretty much just punch strats at this point, and finding absolutely nothing in here that is of value besides maybe, I guess, a piece of heart at this point. But that means we definitely will have something in the sanctuary chest. Veetorp down to half a heart.
With one bomb, he cannot take a hit here. Otherwise, he goes back. Oh, this is one of the like toughest. I don't want to say worst. Worst would be the wrong word, but toughest escapes I have seen. Like these locations and the rats, the guards, all of them just been playing with them right now. Let's see what they get in the sank chest. Hopefully, it's a sword. Give him a sword. Oh man.
It's not a nice seat today for one of the creators and one of our restreamers. But you know, it's amazing though that Veetorp did get that bomb drop. That saved him there.
It did, and both of them walking out with absolutely no weapons. they can only dig right now to find something, and they're going to be hoping for something pretty soon. I mean, granted, NayIeen does have the ability to buy bombs right now. That's good. So he's going to be coming south to north, so he probably won't be routing in the... Oh, wow, never mind. So there is a 20 rupee pool. So Veetorp's going to have
tier
that too.
2.
That's great. That's nice. So they'll be able to do at least a little bit now. They'll probably have that same route. He's going to have to go buy bombs, though. So hopefully maybe a tier bomb pull or just go kill Aga for bombs. You know,
No, it's possible.
that's the kill you need right there. You got to go all the way to Aga just to go get your bombs, just to be able to farm CAC.
Well, I mean, we clearly already got the Master Shovel.
Exactly.
It's too bad that you can't shovel like with those reflective energy beams.
Right, yeah, that would be funny. Like everything. Veetorp is actually going straight for the shovel spot and finds a shield. Fisher Price. Oh,
wow,
man.
really getting taunted by this logic.
Veetorp was feeling like we did, though, thinking, you know, it gave me a shovel and that's it. But he's also going to farm bombs. I like this. In the open mode, this is a common strat. People will go to Link's house and then come through the south route into Kakrio or Kakrio, however you say it. I mispronounce it all the time. And farm bombs right here. There's a 50-50 chance of getting bombs in these bushes below the grove. So that's he's going to be coming from south to north instead of north to south, like NayIeen's going to be doing, which he's going to have to buy bombs and kind of do weird routing here.
Did you catch what was that race game just there?
Bombs. So
not a trade that Veetorp wants to make today.
Yeah, pay one bomb to get 2 bombs. That's... Ooh. Did you catch what was on the...
No, I didn't.
It was Moon Pearl.
What the?
Moon Pearl.
For the Dark World.
We are boots. So that's guaranteed boots to get past the first 3 Light World dungeons. So we're going to find boots soon. We know it. It's just a matter of where. Are they going to have to do something weird like kill Aga to get boots to go to the library to get Moon Pearl? So we know for a fact, though, boots will not be on pedestal. That's impossible at this point. So
call it now. Boots on pyramid.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Glove. Oh, what if the boots were in... Oh man, Checkerboard Cave. What if the boots are replacing where the Moon Pearl can be in trolley locations? That's...
Ugh.
That's so wrong. Oh man.
I think, though, that no matter what, at the end of this race, we got to ask Veetorp, what in the world is going on with your creation here?
Yeah, hurry up, push out version 30, please.
Are you sure you have your settings on your own hosted website? Configured correctly.
Exactly. What hashtag fix your game, man.
Rando.exe has crashed.
Yes, it has.
Oh, no, logic.exe.
Creator.exe has crashed. Please reboot.
We're hoping that we don't have that from Veetorp today, but
Not at all.
Both Veetorp and NayIeen in Kakariko pretty much finishing up all their checks here.
Yeah, so really there's nothing going on. They do get a bottle. They're going to be able to check and see what Sick Kid has. That's fortunate. Gets a little bit of a weird location out of the way, but no weapons still. Just they have the ability to pick stuff up now. That's again fortunate, but nothing just intrinsically available to them to fight people with. You don't want to do this with bombs for the first half. That's rough.
Well, so I mean, looking at what we have so far, we have a lift upgrade. We don't have a lamp. Is it possible that we'll find that in desert at some point? Maybe we find a book soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's the seed's going to point them towards one of these dungeons. I feel like a mirror is going to be maybe the next find. Mirror and lamp to get us up to Death Mountain. I feel like that's going to be the next step to get us up to Hera or something like that.
Well, you know, Flute would definitely point us towards that checkerboard cave you're talking about. That is something that could potentially be a location for those boots.
Yeah, there's a lot that we need, though, for that. Got to get Mirror, got to get the second glove upgrade, like you said, and then the Flute. So there's still a little bit ahead for that. But NayIeen's finding out, oh, great. At least I know I'm going to get boots early, but wonderful. And he's going to be actually trading off, spending one bomb to get two more, not checking the race game, opting to go ahead and do that. I've seen these strats quite a bit, especially if you plan on saving and quitting. Not a bad move. So.
Well, so this is very interesting to see. We don't usually see this from a lot of runners at 12 minutes, heading in opposite directions. Veetorp's going to find out that money does grow on trees in this version of Hyrule.
Yes, and I'm going to be interested to see if they actually route in Agina's Cave after Dam, or if they decide to leave that location with, as strange as this seed has started off, with being kind of stingy. So if they do that, they're going to get that isolated location. Those locations in particular, they have a high chance of having something progression-wise. And with the fact that we haven't seen anything truly progression yet, or the combination of items for progression, I might just opt to do that. I might just opt to go ahead and grab that and see what's going on over there.
I gotta think you don't want to miss anything when you know that you need boots to get the Moon Pearl.
Exactly, and that's actually a common I've seen boots in Agina's Cave more often than I'd like to admit.
I always find boots, book, and Moon Pearl to be hilarious in that spot.
Because they always trip people up. So Veetorp's going to save and quit, probably go back to Link's house. NayIeen's going to route it in like we mentioned earlier. Go ahead and use the glove upgrade, go down, check the dam without having to worry about doing a save and quit. So let's see if the dam holds anything for us today. I don't think they wanted to see that.
On the bright side, they don't have a sword yet, which means it's definitely not an Aga play yet.
Yeah, they still need technically the lamp to show up and a sword actual sword, period, not even just an upgrade, for Aga to even be a thought. So I don't know. I don't see Aga being really a play that's too okay. Drown flippers. That's putting Zora more in the logic here.
It's also a little out of place. I mean, that's a small little puddle, not quite the what was that? The whole domain that Zoras normally have.
Zora decided to make you go on a little bit of a route. Maybe it went through their drainage pipes all the way over to the dam.
Makes sense. The whirlpool system's kind of crazy here at Hyrule, but we have an important cave here for both of our runners. Well, NayIeen first. This mini Moldorm cave, we don't have weapons to really kill these, so bomb strats all day.
And doing a real good job getting that left side. Both of those guys going down really quickly. I missed the first two chests. I don't think there was anything much important. A shield upgrade and a heart. Oh, he had a hammer.
Boots. Oh my god, this cave for NayIeen.
Value
Boots.
on both ends, though.
Mirror.
That's wild. So yeah, early boots. He's going to be able to go get his Moon Pearl really quick. The flute and the mirror and mushroom. The whole package right there in Mini Maldorm Cave. Veetorp's going to be getting that. There's no doubt that he's going to be heading down there. But NayIeen's going to have to go up to Sasha to go ahead and get the Dark World access. So pretty much just everywhere in vanilla, or not vanilla locations, but Sphere 1 locations, you got to go. You got to go every single location.
Now, of course, bomb's not the greatest thing to find in Ice Rod Cave, but we don't have full bombs, so it's not a waste either way. And Veetorp opted to go all the way into Eastern Palace, which is an interesting thing to do before South Shore. Seemingly, I have to guess that Veetorp is playing against what he expects NayIeen to do.
Possible. I mean, at this time, if you've done research on runners, you might think, okay, I might have to take gambles here. Just the typical routing, though, is playing out for NayIeen heavily, because flippers are just the whole package of stuff you need, where it's not looking like too much of a payoff for Eastern Palace right now, other than that hammer, which with the typical routing, you're going to end up going up to Sahashala pretty soon.
And I think Shaq kind of explained what I was missing when I was looking at Veetorp going into Eastern, which is that he didn't have bombs, so he couldn't do Mini Moldorm Cave in the first place. He went north to buy them anyway.
Yeah, he did have to go to the shop that's right below Eastern Palace to get those bombs. So not too much of a out of the way spot to be able to do that. You don't have a sword, Veetorp. You can't punch the skeletons.
not for a lack of trying, though. He definitely gave him a nice right.
Good spot for the big key. I like getting the big key in one of these first 3 chests just to make sure I can go ahead and check the big chest. If he decides to go through the dark rooms, which honestly would be kind of weird to do with no sword and only the hammer to be able to check where you're at, but he's going to do it anyway. It's pretty easy to do even by feel. It's one of the easier dark rooms to go ahead and go through. It is going to be technically a sequence break, so we won't find lamp here, but it could hold bow for all we know. So.
Looking like Waterfall Cave is just a couple big 20s, so NayIeen not getting much out of this, although that's actually very close to Zora money, so that's a kick in the head, in my opinion.
That is a huge kick in the head, because that's literally 16 away. He can go
50.
So he's going to go get that 50. He's going to drop back down, come back around, pay Zora, so he's going to have to do a full loop-de-loop here.
Possibly forgetting rupee count.
No, that's okay. Just a little bit faster to go ahead and do the swim down.
Makes sense. It's always better to dash where you can. I find it really interesting, though, that Veetorp ended up going to Eastern, and that didn't actually cost him any progression. Like, he didn't miss anything in the overworld here that he would need to be in here in the first place.
Yeah, nothing really of... I hate calling it no value. He got the hammer, but... This might actually pay off, though. He's not going to have to use a whole lot of bombs to be able to kill these mini Moldorms. He can do hammer strats and just kill them out really quick. So it's not really a time loss at all. He's got as much knowledge as NayIeen does at this point. NayIeen went ahead and did the Zora check. Now, at that point, would you have gone and turned... No, I know what he's doing. Never mind. He might be saving the mushroom to be able to do a fake powder. Don't blame him for doing that at all.
And of course, if you're going straight to the mushroom from a saving quit, you can always hard reset. But right now, NayIeen is heading back towards Kakariko, looks like. Without that hammer, though, Eastern Palace, that area had it behind Sahasrah's hut. We're going to check these bonk rocks here.
So far, the only thing the boots are like, and I say the only thing, like Moon Pearl isn't a big thing, but Boots not holding too much quite yet. I'm wondering if the mitts are going to be in that King's Tomb. That seems to be a common thing when you have mirror in the boots like this, and you can mirror over to the King's Tomb instead of having to use the mitts to get to it.
Well, folks, please rise for the Hyrulean National Anthem.
Veetorp is farming for rupees to get the Zora money. It's an interesting play. I don't know. I'm not sure that without checking Go ahead.
Well, growing up, this is my favorite ruby farming location, so I really like the throwback, but I think Veetorp is spending a lot of time. He probably knows how to houlihan, right?
He can't houlihan anymore. Well, yes, he can actually. Excuse me. He can do the one that's over there by Sanctuary, but houlihan's a little bit far out of the way for where he has to be. But without checking a few of these locations that are available to you and spending all this time doing this, for all he knows, he can get a 300 rupee spot right away from any of the locations that he can check still with Mini Maldorn, Ice Rod Cave. Just interesting to spend this time to go ahead and farm these rupees. So we're going to get our Aegina's check. I missed what was on the desert ledge. Did you see that?
No, I did not. I was just contemplating Veetorp's unfortunate situation.
It was actually a full piece of heart. I saw it on the restream. Let's see if Aegina is holding anything. Ice Rod Cave was a dud. And Veetorp's actually doing something that I've done, checking this location first after doing dam. It's I like to route it in because you can quick save and quit, go back to Link's house, go straight down, and go to Mini Maldorm Cave. But nothing really at all over in this side. It looks like we're going to be going to Dark World before we're able to clear maybe Hera, which, okay, NayIeen's not going to Sahashvala, so he's not going to have the hammer to be able to... That, I love it. I love it. I've done this before. He's using the shovel to figure out where he's at.
And bomb navigation as well. Some very high-level tech we're seeing here from NayIeen.
I like it.
Yeah, you were mentioning that we don't have the hammer, so we won't be able to explore the rest of Death Mountain once we're done with Hera. So Veetorp does potentially have that routing advantage here.
He can't even clear Hera. So, like, literally, I mean, trying to do Old Man, he decided to save and quit. He's in the cave, so he's going to be doing... I don't know if he's trying to do it again because he got lost. That is what he's doing. But the thing is, when he goes into Hera, if he doesn't find a sword, he can't do Hera. He cannot kill Maldorm. He does not have a fire source. He can't do basement if it forces him to go basement. So,
well, you
it's
just
kinda,
use hammer strats, right?
He doesn't have hammer.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mixed up who we were talking about here.
Yeah, NayIeen does not have hammer, and he's up at Death Mountain right now. So, like, he doesn't have much to be able to clear Hera at all. So he's got to get to Sahashvala to even be able to clear out Hera at all. So Hera is not the play right now without anything to do Hera with.
Kind of makes you wonder, though. No bow accessible to us. We don't have a book or, Titan's Mitts. It's going to be really tough to complete anything in the light world. And we do have that Moon Pearl now that we know where it's at with the boots. But I'm kind of curious as to what the first dungeon's really going to be here. Oh, and Veetorp.
Setting off fireworks for his good friend there. He's going to go ahead and do the Ice Rod check. I don't blame him at all. He can go ahead and route in like NayIeen did and do the Zora area. After doing all that farming, I would hope he would do this. And he needs to be careful. Those crabs do 2 hearts of damage. He can only take 1 more hit before he's dead on another one. So he needs to be very careful. Make that one more hit.
Well, it's kind of funny, though. I do think NayIeen has the Old Man because he's moving very slowly. And look at that clutch fairy drop.
Very clutch. That was useful. And I guess he's going to go ahead and use the secondary rupee farm, grab 20 more, so that way he'll be literally 1 rupee away from 500.
Unfortunately, we don't have a boomerang or the NMG ability to just take 1 rupee from a stun pack. We actually haven't seen the stun prize in this seed, but that's because we don't have anything to stun with.
Very true. And I like that as well. He can just walk out and walk back in and grab a quick 5, so he'll be okay on that also.
Wow, fortune favors the bold. Veetorp's diving all the way in.
The bow on Old Man's sequence break. Wow.
This tells us a fair amount of information. I mean, we know the Eastern Palace doesn't have anything. We can't access Desert Palace. So there's a lamp somewhere accessible to us based on the items we found so far.
It could be in Dark World.
Exactly. So not entirely sure where it's going to be, but with Hammer available to us, that's a lot of Dark World they could potentially be in.
Big chest, Thieves Town.
That's terrible.
The ether is on the spectacled rock and a piece of heart inside. Going to be grabbing that ether real quick. Not too far off its vanilla location.
Well, Veetorp making the long walk and then the run, possibly forgetting for a moment he had boots. I definitely do that a lot in Zora's domain. But does have all the rupees he needs. He got those two big 20s from the Waterfall Cave. He's going to find out that his trade is absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I don't like this exchange rate. Veetorp's going to go ahead and grab those rupees. I don't blame him here. It's going to set him up for the dig game. It's going to set him up for the few rupees that he's going to have to buy. NayIeen's opting to go ahead and use the mushroom. Go ahead and get rid of that. Basically banking on Magic Bat not having anything until powder's found. So 300 rupees, though, that's going to set him up to be able to do any of his pays that he has to do. NayIeen's going to be getting his hammer here shortly as well and being able to full clear Eastern Palace as well as a sequence break. So we're going to get our first crystal probably here shortly.
So with Lamp being what's blocking our bow here, and we don't know what Palace of Darkness is, you know, it could be a crystal or a pendant, we're not sure yet. But we know that this is a crystal, so Elminster in chat pointing out that, you know, we don't actually know whether or not this bow is early or late in logic. I was wrong about that. The lamp could potentially be something hard to find. So kind of curious as to see where that's going to be. And we find out from Sahasrahla that it's going to be Misery Mire for the green pendant.
So that lowers our chances of Turtle Rock being a pendant. I was actually thinking that it's very possible for it to be in Turtle Rock. Because I've seen it happen more often than not that he is not doing Eastern Palace. He's going back to Link's house. He's going to do Hype Cave. No, stop proving me wrong.
What's impressive is that NayIeen knew to prove you wrong at that exact moment.
Exactly. I thought for sure he was going to do Hype Cave. It was right there. But maybe he's buying bombs first, then doing that, because having 10 bombs before going in there is going to be useful. So I'm not sure what you're doing, NayIeen, but back to 4? Yes, okay, down. Now Hype Cave, thank you.
Well, now both of our runners are able to get into the Dark World. Veetorp just picking up his Moon Pearl. Probably going to flute to 4, I gotta think, yeah? I am proven wrong as well, going right to 1.
Don't blame him. He hasn't been up here yet. He can actually go in and dive Hera. So he can clear Hera right now if he doesn't have to go to the basement. So going to see some new ground here. He can actually get to East Death Mountain as well. So he's got more available to him than NayIeen.
Well, here comes our Hype Cave. The Hype Index today starting off pretty bad.
Continuing. Hey!
Oh, the boomerang.
And the book. About a 4. I'd give that a 4. The book could open up more. I think it's going to raise up if we find more on book locations.
I honestly think that Bloomerang's worth 3 points on its own.
We got a map check. So we already knew Misery Mire green, but blue and red pendants are Ice Palace and Skull Woods, and the other 5/6 crystal is Thieves Town. That could mean Fat Fairy is going to be very much in logic to have something important. Hera's clearable right now, pending the small key being found, and Thieves Town is clearable full at this moment. And
yeah, so early Pyramid Fairy looks like.
Small key right away. So if the big key is not up here in this chest, I think it's the vanilla map chest, we're done. We can't do anything over here. Unless of course it's the lamp or fire rod. That would be very interesting. Rip.
Just barbacoa, so we need a fire source before we can get that Pyramid Fairy. That's actually the only thing blocking us from it, if I'm correct. I think that's right.
Yeah, 100%. That's the only thing blocking us right now. We can full clear Tower of Hera once we get a fire source, whether that be fire rod or the lamp. And interestingly enough, Veetorp did not sequence break Old Man. I wonder if he's going to do that. I do know from watching Veetorp quite often, he's not a big fan of certain sequence breaks whenever doing standard runs like this. Like he'll do Eastern Palace just to see what the item is to know whether or not he has to go back to the back to get the item off of Armos Knights. But for the most part, if it's a big sequence break, he may not do it. And in the instance of Old Man, I don't know why he wouldn't.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the more valuable ones since it doesn't take as long to do, relatively simple. But Veetorp, with 1 heart left, he was being patient in that cave, actually, walking the entire length of it despite having boots.
Having boots, oh no, but he didn't actually, no, he didn't get the save and quit spot, so he's going to have to flute back up there. Maybe he'll get the, maybe he'll get Old Man after fluting back up there. We'll see where he goes after this.
And then on the other side, we didn't catch it, but NayIeen had picked up a big 20 from the dig game, so nothing from there. Looks like we're heading to Village of Outcasts as well.
Yeah, and it was only 5 digs, so a pretty generous dig game, and Veetorp is going to also be heading into Village of Outcasts, so he's going to be opting to not check the locations over there. Did he get? He didn't get Paradox Cave, did he?
No, he did not. He checked Spiral Cave and took a fall from there. That was the Meteor.
That's rough. There could be a lot. There could be a lot over there. But we'll see if it pays off. So he's going to be going up to Skull Woods, getting those 2 items there. Common check in older versions. Blue mail over in chest game. Let's see what pays off here. If the Thieves Town first, then Skull Woods, or if Skull Woods pendant actually holds a valuable item.
I mean, I think it's really bold to go into Skull Woods without the Fire Rod, knowing that there's 2 items and they could actually both be locked behind it. So this is a very fast check. Bombos actually is what we're getting. No sword, though.
Bombos is not a bad find. Bombos is pretty good. That is making it to where Turtle Rock is going to be more likely to be one of those. We only have a 33% chance to not have that medallion now, so. But still no sword at 32 minutes in. That's so unkind. I'm hoping he finds the second item, because then that'll clear out his worries about Skull Woods being important. And for all we know, it is important. It could be the right dip, because we need Bombos to either get to Mire or get to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, swordless feels familiar, man. It's not a very fun way to play. But unfortunately, sometimes they're locked in some pretty crazy places. And we know that it's going to prevent us from having to do certain things. Now that we have Hammer and we have Dark World access, we're not going to have to kill Aghanim. That is confirmed dead. And Lumberjack only had bombs. But there are a number of places where having a sword, like, for example, the back of this dungeon, is kind of critical.
Yeah, if you're wanting to full clear this dungeon, 100% you're going to need a sword. You can't get through here without a sword, because you need it for the curtains, just like with Aga. Ice Rod in Thieves Town, the front 4, that's pretty fortunate. That's an item that can control really easily. I bet NayIeen's kind of wiping his brow for that, because you don't want that to be your last item. You don't want that to be go mode.
Also, I definitely agree with the play by NayIeen, of course, to go to Thieves Town, not just because it's kind of in a dense location for items, but also because this is our 5-6. So let's just say we find a fire source in here. That's going to make the chain pretty straightforward. I would definitely be going to Hera after that.
Yeah, he'll be able to get the Paradox Cave, and we're going to get a possible... I think we are, maybe not now that he accidentally had to work back, so he's not going to... I thought he might have been checking Pedestal with having... No, he doesn't have that book, never mind.
He does have a cape, though, and we haven't seen this bumper cave, so Veetorp really telegraphing at this point, since he switched to that cape, where exactly he's heading. This is just one item location, but we'll see if it pays off here.
Oh! Payoff is huge! The mitts are behind the cape, and the sword is in the attic of Thieves Town. So first sword at 34 minutes and about 25 seconds in. Wow, 2 pretty big finds on either side over here. And Veetorp's going to be showing us you don't need the hook shot to be able to get through Bumper Cave. Just got to walk right along that edge, pick up that pot, and go straight down. So mitts, that opens up a lot of locations. I mean, if I was Veetorp, I might be heading right back up to Death Mountain here shortly. There's a lot to check over there.
Also, it looks like he's going for just making sure he doesn't miss anything, no loose ends. He's going to take care of the Graveyard Ledge here and King's Tomb all in one fell swoop, but I'm inclined to agree with you. I mean, it seems like the logical place to be after this is definitely Death Mountain.
Which could be unfortunate because that's taking him away from important dungeons that need
Stuff
to be cleared.
like Half Magic.
Half Magic Sword. Thieves Town's I wouldn't say its value, not like insane value. The fact that it's got one sword is definitely good, but sword could be anywhere else. There's 3 other ones to find. Half Magic is a quality of life item that you love to find early, especially with having low swords. So we could probably see some cape strats here on blind if we get a little bit off script.
But we're very happy to have a sword at all. NayIeen's going to show us just how the blind fight's supposed to look like. It appears NayIeen has practiced this fight pretty well.
Oh yeah. Boom. Boom. Yes. Making it look easy.
Yeah, this is a really good fight so far. It's a little harder with Fighter Sword, but almost perfect.
That is about as close to perfect as you can get. Taking only 1 heart of damage right at the end, missing the perfect script. Is Veetorp having a little bit of trouble actually getting teleport? Okay, no, he did check King's Tomb, I think.
No, he accidentally walked into his portal a couple times.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see.
Probably not too happy about the bomb bag upgrade either.
Yeah, unfortunately not too many Dodongos in this particular version of Zelda, so no need for bomb bag upgrades. I wonder if he's going to go check Catfish after this. No, he's heading left, so maybe back to Thieves Town doing the Village of Outcast route.
Wow, NayIeen really looking out to remember this now, because there could have been a lot of searching throughout the Dark World before we found this.
Yeah, that could have been rough if he didn't go this route, but kind of a typical stop in the kind of routing that we're seeing. He hasn't gone into Skull Woods yet, which could be unfortunate because that gives him the 66% chance of not having the medallion needed for Turtle Rock. And that could be a holdup for him if he doesn't go to Skull Woods.
But I am glad to see both of our runners heading this way with Cape and, Mirror, Titan's Mitts, or at least Power Glove. It makes sense to check your North Dark World. But Veetorp is doing the Village of Outcast stuff, so I gotta think he's going into Blinds, into Thieves Town. Do you think he's gonna go do the Smith Chain after this?
Probably, because he hasn't done Hype Cave yet. He's probably going to do the full Smith Chain. He has Mirror. He's got everything needed to go ahead and do all of that. It makes sense,
Yes, Jeremiah Bullfrog on his world tour.
Probably giving the chest more of a world tour if you think about it, because he's going to be able to go over there, do the hammer pegs, doing the fast. Well, now that he's going through here, do the fast strats of hammer pegs, as well as Mirror, turn in the blacksmith, and then come back around and do the chest. So probably taking the chest over to the Hype Cave after doing Dig Game before getting Jeremiah. So he'll route that in.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how some of the same checks take you in different directions. Veetorp's taking a lot of damage here in Thieves Town, though, down to 1.5 hearts, and that's not a very comfy place to be.
I don't know, maybe another clutch fairy drop will happen. It seems like everything has a fairy in its pack today.
Yeah, we have seen at least 2 of them so far. He did get the kind of nice rod, though.
Yeah, kind of nice. Cold as ice.
Willing to sacrifice your magic?
Yes. Yes, most definitely. Thank you for getting my foreigner reference. I don't feel old anymore.
1,000%. Well, I mean, we probably are getting to that point. This is an old game, folks. This is released in 89 in Japan and 91 in international releases. So, if you think this game holds up pretty well for its age, you're not alone.
I like to think I hold up well for my age, too.
I'll let everyone speak for themselves on that one. I wouldn't know well enough to comment on it, honestly. You sound young to me.
So 300 rupees from the Catfish. The The Zora area, just absolute worthless both in Light World and Dark World. Of course, worthless is a, I guess, frame of mind considering there's a lot of rupees over there. And Veetorp is down to 1 heart in that Hellway, getting through there.
Yeah, really impressed by that. Those anti-fairies do a full heart of damage, and those Patrick Stars aren't exactly slouches either. He's going to take advantage of the enemy. The strat you'd never see.
I gotta clap at that. That was hilarious.
Veetorp with supreme game knowledge. 200 IQ plays.
Fine. I'm gonna throw the pot to the left. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw you at it. Oh, I love it. And he has to be careful. These cockroaches are also, I don't even know what they are. Lizard cockroach things. They're just annoying. He's gonna have to be careful. These things do a lot of damage. They're basically the Dark World version of the crabs.
Pretty much. I've even heard people call them crickets, but honestly, I don't know the real name of them.
I mean, I've heard crickets, I've heard cockroaches. They're little green bugs. They're annoying, and wouldn't have been too bad considering after opening the Skyrise, it's a lot better than not having it open and dying there. So he would have had a little bit of a time waste, but that was close. He almost got sniped by that cockroach.
It would be pretty punishing. But in the meantime, NayIeen has opted to go to Palace of Darkness, so Kiki here taking 110 of our rupees, of which we have plenty. NayIeen also has a mirror and a hammer in here with the bow. This is pretty much sequence breakable for Lamp if you are able to do that, but looks like we're going to check Eastern Palace first.
Yeah, he's going to do that full clear. He's going to do a full clear. Eastern is one of the easiest dark rooms. The back one is a little trolly. You've got to line up good. If you use the arrow correctly, you can see where the little green guy's at and set it up pretty well. But if you miss it, if you don't get that arrow in him to see him move, it can troll you pretty good. So perfect RNG on the second time through for those cannonballs. That's actually very fortunate. Veetorp going in with 3 hearts, but cape and a sword. This is going to be a quick fight. So far, what we're needing, looking at both of the trackers here, we are knowledge of medallions. We need Fire Rod, Hookshot, and the Cane of Samaria. Lantern is nice, but not needed. We do need a sword upgrade. So really, it's coming down to a couple of the worst troll items that you could possibly see. Cane being late is never fun because there's a possibility it could be in Mire, vanilla location, and that would just be forgive me for even speaking such words. Hookshot being late, it stops you from going somewhere like Swamp Palace, which also is vanilla location, which would also hurt. Again, speaking such words, ban me for life.
Hey, I mean, anything can happen to Randomizer, and we just love to forecast the... we like to tell the forecast. We're almost as reliable as weather people, really. Though we have a fair number of items here, I mean, we'd actually have quite a lot of inventory, but not much in the way of weapons. I mean, this one sword, it's enough for us to do some faster hammer dashes, though. Veetorp's going to check the peg cave here while NayIeen is... I don't know, poking around in the dark. There's no good way to say that. That doesn't sound strange.
I know, right? Yeah, without a doubt. Nothing in hammer pegs. Now, you know that you said the weapon thing. They have the hammer. They've got temper sword damage. It's just a shorter hitbox. It's a little bit goofy, but at the 4 and 2 stage, and these 2 runners in particular, they have no problems. They know their hammer strats. All right, so we're gonna see the blacksmiths right now. We cannot do fake powder. Bombs are everywhere. What is up with that?
Yeah, every single location that we've been hoping to find something, it seems like just bombs hidden there.
Yeah, and Alu pointing out, it looks like Veetorp is actually skipping dig game.
Yeah, I definitely can't do it with the chest in tow, and there's no really good time to do it at this point. I'm kind of wondering when he's going to come back for that.
Yeah, it's. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm not a fan of isolating locations. There's so many of them that are already that way in this game, like catfish and things like that, that are only routable whenever you have a particular item, like something like a mirror, flute, or something to that effect. So being able to route them in with something and not putting them as a one-of location just helps. But with our knowledge, we know it doesn't matter. It's only a 25 digs, not a big time waste, but it's one of those things where hopefully it pays off for Veetorp. So as far as not thinking, oh lord, what a dig game has my item. Stumpy had nothing. So right now the blacksmith chain showing not much. NayIeen getting his second crystal, and Veetorp is going to be checking this chest shortly after doing Hype Cave.
Yep, one of the fun things about Randomizer, and I guess this happens in vanilla as well, we don't really see the lunchbox, so to speak, too often. But you can actually leave it in a position in the overworld. You just can't mirror. You'll lose it. But you can come back to that on your way over and save yourself some time. A lot of people do opt to... well, you can't mirror without it following you, but a lot of people will mirror and then flute to that location instead.
Yeah, you can mirror and flute to 7, and it will be following you until you can actually save and quit with both Jeremiah and Veetorp. Not happy about that. Getting his favorite boomerang. He's not a fan of the red meringue, so he got his favorite boomerang, got the book, probably thinking, well, okay. But it actually helped Veetorp. Obviously not to his knowledge, but he's going to be able to route in Bombo's tablet by checking it the way he did. NayIeen's not getting that check in until he actually goes that direction. And there's a lot of stuff that's just kind of, I don't know, routing-wise, Veetorp's doing a little bit better, even though NayIeen is a little bit ahead on checking things like dungeons. He's got 2 crystals compared to Veetorp's 1. Veetorp's going to knock out the Bombo's tablet. It could pay off.
Well, on the subject of red and bloomerangs, I have to applaud Veetorp. He is a gentleman and a scholar, clearly a distinguished man for not liking that red meringue. He doesn't like lag frames.
Nobody likes lag frames. Save the frames, man. Just couch cast, move right along. So nothing on Bombo's tablet, and you can check the tablets without having a sword and with the fighter sword, but you can't get the item without having at least the master sword. The game is programmed that way. We are getting our first mire check and probably a dip into desert because we can do pretty much everything in desert except for the boss right now. And ether is mire, so we have access to green pendant right now.
Yep, if we had the Cane of Samaria, we could even kill Vitreous. That's unfortunately the only thing preventing us from, getting that. But at this point, Cane of Samaria is going to be needed elsewhere. If it really comes down to it, that could be that late end of our progression chain. Still haven't found that lamp, though.
Do you dip into mire right now? Try to get those 2 items.
I would avoid it. But, I mean, he has 13 hearts, so it's not that bad. It's just no fire rod, fighter sword. It's a really tough dungeon to be doing that way.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those things where I think in the back of your mind, you think vanilla location. Like, green pendant mire is never fun. When you see it in your seed, you're like, I don't know if I like this or not. I don't know how I feel about this.
I think the big reason to avoid it is no fire source.
Agreed, because you're locked out of pretty much 2 different chests. And it just stops you in your tracks. There's a lot that can be broken from you, possibly even 3 chests, because you may not be able to get the big chest. The big key could be in its vanilla location.
And of course, we are full clearable with the exception of Lamolus here in Desert. So if we exclude that from the item pool, pretty decent chance this is a good check to be making right now.
Yeah, and it's only 2 items in Desert, so.
Well, NayIeen's in the basement of basement of Palace of Darkness. Hasn't found anything in those chests that we could see at that time. I'm kind of curious because usually if it's a key item, it'll show up on the screen. I didn't see anything there.
I think he got some rupees. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Hopefully that menu will shed some light on this.
Haha. We know what it wasn't.
Many things, actually.
Yeah.
But with one of the items, Desert, Veetorp is going to head over to the big key chest, which he just got the big key for. This is moment of truth for him, whether or not it is fire locked here in Desert for that last item.
So Landmo has an item.
And not only that, but NayIeen's going to go through all of the Dark Maze here.
I honestly find Pod Dark Maze to be pretty easy if I have a map up. If I have the map pulled up and I'm able to see the map, I can do it pretty quick. So
Yeah, that's an important detail, folks. You can actually have your dark room maps available to you.
That was interesting. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Hookshot was in the big chest.
Boing, 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 folks. Wow. So there's a couple of things that helps us out with. Swamp Palace becomes a thing to full clear, and so does the easy access to Lower East Death Mountain. So if you're looking to try and get through, a lot of that, it's a lot more convenient now. Plus Hookshot in Dark World, Hookshot Cave. There's a lot of things available to us from that.
I'm surprised NayIeen went to Meyer area first. After finding that, the Death Mountain play just looks so juicy right now. Everything
and of course,
up
a bad block push there is going to make him do this again. Also, I think the reason that NayIeen would do that, and I obviously will ask NayIeen in the interview what was going on in his mind, but I gotta think he doesn't want to make extra Death Mountain trips.
Yeah, you're going to try to do Turtle Rock last anyway, though. You're going to get knowledge of what the medallion is. He only has one medallion right now. He's going to be able to do a lot of it. Go ahead and clear Hera. Get knowledge of what is on the... well, he can't clear Hera, excuse me. We know he can't. He can check Hera at least, but for all we know, the lamp is up there. For all we know, a fire source is up there in Hookshot Cave, all of that stuff. Because Hookshot right now, he has it in sequence. So no, he doesn't. It's out of sequence. I lied.
Yeah, because Dark Room access.
Dark Room. So, but even then, he's had access to all these locations anyway for a long time.
I gotta think though, based on what we've had for item progression and what we're looking at here, it seems like Lamp's gonna be an East Dark World, or East Dark Death Mountain, or an East Death Mountain. I don't think anybody's been in Paradox Cave.
Veetorp is gambling like a madman.
Well, you gotta respect that when the chips are down, Veetorp goes all in. This is Ice Palace. Interesting choice.
Non-green pendant Ice Palace with Bombos and Half Magic and Fighter Sword. He's gambling on something big being here. He doesn't have his bow yet because bow is on Old Man. This is big. Honestly, the lamp could be here.
And if that's the case, that's a really nice advantage because a lot of these rooms did take NayIeen a bit of time.
Lamp could be here, Fire Rod could be... A Fire Source could be here. We're all familiar with the Fire Rod being locked behind Bombos theory,
Yep, it's not the most fun one to experience. Very fun to watch, though.
Yeah, Ice Palace doesn't become nearly as daunting whenever you have Half Magic because you can just kind of go through and clear things pretty easily and quickly, so... Not all that bad.
The one thing that does stink, though, is we don't have a Master Sword, so we can't do Sword Beam strats on Cold Stare. We can't look all swag.
Yeah, very true, very true. And honestly, I hate Fighter Sword bomb jumps. I don't like them. They give me so much trouble. I line up with I line up with the sword. I don't use the shadows. So I know Veetorp's got this down, though. He's going to get this probably first or second try.
Yeah, very seasoned, Link to the Past expert, we would call it that. He's been pretty much in the community for the vanilla game and Randomizer, of course, for just about forever. I know I've seen Veetorp involved since at least version 5, probably sooner, to be honest with you. But NayIeen making that decision that we were talking about before, going up to Death Mountain.
This is the right play. This is the right play for NayIeen, without a doubt. There's so many locations up here, full clearable. Even though he's sequence broke the hook shot, it's just going to give him easier access. It's not that it is out of sequence because he can go the longer route. He's had Hammer and Mirror for quite some time now. So this is just the right play.
I gotta say, I really admire the gutsiness of NayIeen there. no drive-through strats, but only taking half a heart of damage despite like going through an absolute veritable minefield of dead rocks and cabbages. Kind of impressed by that.
Oh, not far enough left, NayIeen.
Veetorp perhaps forgetting exactly how the game expects him to progress through the dungeon at this point.
Yeah, at that point he was probably thinking, okay, I don't actually have a key. How do I want to go through this? Do I want to go ahead and do these bomb jumps? Do I want to nope out? There's a lot of decisions to make here.
And the pen gators aren't making it any easier. Didn't catch what was in Super Bunny Cave from NayIeen there, though.
Not much, just red mail. I mean, it's, again, quality of life, not exactly something that's required. All right.
We'll get the Turtle Rock medallion, though.
Moment of truth. It's Bombos!
Uh-oh. Where do we find Bombos?
Pendant Skullwoods.
Ooh, ouch. Well, good news, though. NayIeen's probably going to be coming back up here anyway for another trip, because obviously, you need that Bombos. And knowing that he doesn't have it can kind of make some decisions around that.
Yeah, that's still a tough decision. The cane is in Hookshot Cave.
This could have been one trip back up.
Oh, man. We still don't have Fire Rod, though. And it's still possible, because think, right now, we're not going to find the lamp in Ice Palace. Because right now we are sequence breaking like crazy, and the hook shot from NayIeen was sequence broken. So it's possible. Hey, look, Veetorp found his
Veetorp confirmed.
So we are possible to still find Fire Rod, because hookshot technically is sort of illogicable, depending on if we find the lamp here soon. So there could be something over here in Ice Palace. If it's found, we'll get more confirmation on that, depending on what Veetorp finds here, as well as what NayIeen finds, and where Veetorp was very recently, mind you. The Fire Rod! Oh my god! The gambles, man!
Do you believe in magic items in an Ice Palace?
What is this? That is 2 required items in Pendant Dungeons. Is Green Pendant going to have anything? The Green Pendant Dungeon, is it going to be something?
So, folks, if you've been waiting for that Bombos locked Fire Rod, today's your day.
So, where is Lamp?
Well, I think logically at this point it's got to be Mr. Meyer, right? And I
Meyer?
don't mean like game logic. I mean, life logic.
Well, here. Think about this. What if the game's logic is actually requiring you to double dip Swamp Palace?
Ugh.
This is what I do, folks. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be the rude guy to these people. I love Veetorp and NayIeen. I consider them both friends. This is what I do. I theory craft, and Veetorp is down to no health. He was going through and diving trying to full clear this, but I'm with him, noping out. So NayIeen's gonna find out that he is locked out of Hera, but he's gonna be able to check the tablet at least and see what is on that tablet. Veetorp, he's going to Death Mountain.
Yeah, so the knowledge that Veetorp has is a significant advantage, even though he's a little behind on the dungeon count. It's just Eastern Palace, but he does understand what's going on with this Fire Rod and Bombos, whereas NayIeen has no clue, no reason to dive into the Ice Palace.
He didn't get the second item in Skullwoods. He's going to Skullwoods. He's going to check and make sure whether or not pedestal is required, because he just had to nope out of Ice Palace, which was one of the pendants. He's getting full knowledge. He's like, do I have to go back here? Did I just waste time dying to Cold Stare? Because he didn't waste time going into Ice Palace. That was huge and very fortunate for him finding the Fire Rod there, but he needs to know if he has to go back now. Because if you're Veetorp in this position, you feel pretty good. You just gambled heavy and sequence broke the crap out of Ice Palace to get that Fire Rod.
Yeah, it's a pretty deep dive and very very well rewarded for that dive as well. Now I got to think though, if you're going to go all the way to Mothula, you're going to check the pedestal, right?
Yeah, if you're Veetorp, yes. Pedestal is dead, folks. Pet is dead, but Veetorp doesn't know that. Veetorp doesn't know that. Bo could be on pedestal to Veetorp.
Which is kind of wild, but, you know, so far Palace of Darkness and Eastern Palace didn't really have anything, so, maybe it ends up paying off.
I mean, he's going to have to clear him anyway, but it's such a weird thing to think that Bo is in as easy of a location as Old Man. But, okay, so he's going to do sword slashes here to kill the Gibdo that has the key. Using more game knowledge, hitting that Gibdo against that spike does I guess, I don't know what damage points per se. I actually don't know that off the top of my head. But definitely does more damage than just a regular fighter sword swing, so.
1000%. And he's in a pretty difficult fight here. He's going to have to switch to his hammer because, yeah, fighter sword was not going to do. But also getting trapped underneath Mothula, which is really bad.
He does have a blue bottle as well as he's also got a B. So, I mean, he's got a couple different strats he could do here. He'll be fine.
Truly amazed we're not seeing the Veetorp strats.
The B actually,
saving it for later.
In my opinion, the B makes Moth harder because it knocks him around and it just causes too much chaos when in an already chaotic, insane fight.
Yeah, I can't think of too many situations I actually have one for this anyway.
Definitely not the cleanest Moth fight, but he got through it. Finds out that the second item is a 50 rupee drop.
Well, so this is a bit of a time sink for him, giving NayIeen some opportunity to catch up on some of these overworld checks. We just got the whole Smith chain taken care of. Yeah,
the crazy thing is NayIeen is locked behind his own misfortune here. He's got to go into Skull Woods to find Bombos to get Fire Rod. There's no other way around it. So it's unfortunate. So please don't be Quake. Please don't be Quake. The silver arrows.
Wow. Well, so no real reason to go get that at this point. I don't think you're going to kill Vitreous for that, but
I don't see that happening either. But we still don't. I mean, we're going to have a silverless Ganon, but this could be Master Sword Ganon.
Which, of course, makes things even more fun. So, could be a nail biter, folks, all the way up until and through Ganon's Tower to figure out, honestly, if we're even going to hit go mode until then.
So, Veetorp's getting his old man check now. He's going to be, wow, remind me to never say that again. Getting Bo is his next step here. So, he's going to be able to actually go through, clear Hera after doing this, going to get all of his Death Mountain checks, dark and light, find out that he has Bombos and has his access to Turtle Rock, and getting his Cane of Samaria. Veetorp is ahead. He's got a lead here.
So I gotta ask, because I feel like Veetorp would probably be able to answer this best, regarding logic. But if I recall correctly, you are logically supposed to be able to have silver arrows before Ganon, even if you don't end up having to use them. So technically, this is a pedestal required seed, isn't it?
Yes, the game does expect you to have silver arrows because it is a technical glitch that Ganon takes damage from spins, or on that frame where he's teleporting.
Yeah, it's always nice and swag when you see somebody do it with sword slashes, but usually most people use sword spins, and we'll probably see that from both runners. I really don't think anybody's picking up that pedestal.
Yes, and Chad does make a good point. I was confusing both trackers here. Veetorp does not have the hook shot. He's going to have to go in and sequence break, or not. Well, at this point, sequence break Pod if he wants to get hook shot. But for all we know, he could be getting his lamp right here, or possibly he could get lamp and Hera.
Wow, Master Sword. Well, it's a bit of a health sink to get to it, but no problems. We're gonna go right back up to the mountain and probably take out Hera. I think you have the right idea.
Yeah, without a doubt, Hera's the right play. That's a useful cave right there. That's a useful spike cave.
And so few of them are, so probably pretty happy about that. It looks like NayIeen just picked up some kind of bottle.
Fairy in a bottle. So left side play. Has Lantern been hiding in Swamp Palace all along?
It seems reasonably likely at this point. Swamp Palace and Misery Mire, the only things outside of Turtle Rock that we might see from Veetorp here that we haven't really looked at. We do also have another tablet here, and he can check it.
And he's actually going to be able to get the item this time. Big 20, nothing too much on that. But we're going to see our first Hera. I guess you'd call it the top of Hera attic.
Yeah, we're finally going to get a coffee break here. Veetorp's been running hard for an hour and 5 minutes. He probably feels like this is well deserved.
And this will be his second crystal. So he'll be able to go in and get Eastern Palace done. Again, easy sequence breaks for these runners. I don't know if he'll actually do the sequence break of Pod. It's a lot easier to do in his situation going through the back end than it was for NayIeen, because he can actually light the torches in that turtle room and have a lot easier of a time with that.
Yeah, and given that we have to complete both of those dungeons for crystals, it's probably going to be more important just to clear it out. The thing that stinks, though, is that if we don't find Lamp quickly, Veetorp may end up going that direction without it, and that's a bit of a time sink to go through all that dark maze. He may even opt to hammer jump.
There was nothing in the Bonk Rocks outside of Sanctuary. I'm not sure what other. Oh, you're talking about Lumberjack Cave. No, there was nothing in Lumberjack Cave. Ag is not required this seed.
So I believe we've checked all Boots Lock locations as well, so that's probably not going to be necessary at this point for anything else. Yeah, because Lumberjack and Bonk Rock and King's Tomb, right.
Yeah, there was nothing in all the other ones. We got an early check of the library as usual. It was Moon Pearl, so we knew Boots were going to be early in this seed at some point, just a matter of finding them in Light World. And that ended up being the case. So the lamp was not in Swamp Palace, because right now this is going to be sequence breaking. The lamp will not be back here. So chances of something important being back here in Swamp Palace is nil. There's nothing that could be back here that is going to help NayIeen, other than maybe a sword upgrade.
Yeah, those would be helpful. Other safeties would be good. If we found powder, that'd be really nice. Definitely not logically going to give us lamp or anything, because as you mentioned, that hook shot was behind the lamp. But we would still be happy to find that last medallion, just in case NayIeen doesn't know exactly what Turtle Rock is. I don't think so, at least. And sword upgrade, definitely great quality of life.
NayIeen does know what it is. NayIeen does not have Bombo. Yeah, he was the one that checked it first and realized he could not go in there, but then he got his cane. And as a matter of fact, also to mention, Veetorp will not find lamp in Hera, because in order to get into Hera, he had to use Fire Rod, and the lamp was blocking the hook shot, in which Veetorp sequence broke Ice Palace to get Fire Rod, which was hook shot block.
This is turning out to be pretty convoluted. Hookshot is pretty important for a lot of locations, and so is Fire Rod, and oh my god.
So where is Lamp Meyer? It's gotta be Meyer. Maybe, no, it's gotta be Meyer. It has to be Meyer.
I'm thinking, I can't think of any overworld we've missed. I mean, somebody checked K45, right, in Stumpy?
Yes. Both of those were checked. I think K45 was a heart piece. Stumpy was just I think change. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm 100% positive Meyer is going to hold that lamp, because, or maybe if we find powder in a weird location, because right now, technically Turtle Rock is going to be sequence broke because of. I mean, he's not going to be able to go in there anyway, because he in order to be able to do it, he's got to have Cane. Cane's blocked by Hookshot, which is blocked by Lamp, and Pod.
Yeah, it's kind of a doozy. And I gotta think, where else could... maybe Lamolus? If it was Lamolus, that would mean that it was blocked by Fire Rod and Bombos. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, it can't be Lanmo. Lanmo cannot have it, because, again, he has to have a fire source in order to get back there, and Fire Rod is sequence broke right now. So, just, allow your brain to sink and go into the misery of mire, because that's where the lamp's at.
It's some convoluted stuff, but we're seeing some really nice strats against Argus. You don't have a fire rod to work with, so we're getting ice rod strats.
That's very interesting. It's a slower strat because I don't think you can get both shots off unless you're really close. So that's kind of interesting. Veetorp's at least going to check that first chest, and the cane was actually, I think, a couple chests in, if I'm not mistaken. So
that's correct. The one at the top of the center there.
Yeah, not going to get much here. Just a big 5. So, or a little 5, depending on how you want to call it. But probably going to mirror and flute away. Maybe to mire.
Gonna head up to the shop first.
I
thought he was gonna go to that shop. He's just going to Paradox.
No, he's doing the reverse Paradox method, which is actually a perfect idea. When you have mirror, it's a lot better to do that. NayIeen didn't do. I thought he did left side. Or no, he got the big key. Okay, never mind. I was like, what is he doing? Okay, so checking the big key chest, nothing there. NayIeen is looking for Fire Rod, which we know is in Ice Palace, and looking for Bombas, which we know is in Skull Woods, which is 2 pendant dungeons, not even green pendant. Has to dip those in order to be able to clear and get items he needs. We know that the pedestal holds our silver arrows, and we also know there's a sword upgrade in Spike Cave. Right now, we do not know where the other 2 sword upgrades are. So, Lamp is still MIA. We're pretty sure it's in Mire. Yeah, welcome to this seat.
This has been crazy, and folks, I mean, I've been at the edge of my seat watching this the entire time here on the commentary couch with unknown availability. Thanks, by the way, for joining me on short notice, too. But if you guys have been appreciating the show that these guys have been putting on for you, give them a follow. Both of them are, on the bubble for entering the elimination bracket. The winner today will definitely advance. The loser of this match, possibly. There's some strange tie breaks. Looks like NayIeen did pick up that bomb boost. But yeah, give them a follow. You definitely want to keep track of their progress through this tournament. And is that a big bomb?
That is a big bomb. He's going to be checking the Pyramid Fairy for his hookshot and cane. So for Veetorp, he needs to go get hookshot out of pod, but it's going to be a sequence break. And then he's going to get his cane, which is over there right next to where he needs it in TR. So it's tough to make the call to go into pod without the lamp. A lot of people hate pod without lamp. So
I'm one of them.
I get it. I hate Mire. I hate Mire without lamp. It's one of those things I don't like going into Mire without having it. It's just it drives me up the wall. Veetorp hasn't done Catfish yet, so he should be going that direction here shortly too. Probably he's probably going to do this check. He just checked the pyramid. Probably heading to Catfish after this. He's going to check the bottle prize, throwing this in.
Making sure we know who is really in charge here. It's the Veetorp.
I was just about to say, watch it be a B. Blue potion, major value. That's awesome. Saving 160 rupees, even though we're pretty rupee stocked.
But hey, the possibility of Master Sword Ganon maybe will end up needing some of those rupees.
Yeah, Master Sword Ganon is not easy. It is definitely not easy. NayIeen's making the play on Ice Palace. NayIeen's definitely making up a lot of that lost time. It's way more even now than it was a few moments ago, because Veetorp's got to go to pod and get his hook shot to be able to get into Turtle Rock. So really it comes down to making more gambles. So
this is a really good example of following the breadcrumbs. You see that NayIeen here is, receive that bomb boost, immediately knows, hey, I've got to be in, Ice Palace right now. This is definitely where I'm missing items. So if you do get to that point where you've exhausted just about everything, you really just got to commit fully to finishing everything that you approach, and NayIeen's going to end up getting to the right items this route. This will take him to the Fire Rod next. With that Fire Rod, Turtle Rock becomes available, and that's looking like a pretty decent chance of having that lamp still.
I'm still thinking Mire's got that lamp. I can't.
Oh no, you're right, because we can't do Turtle Rock without hook shot.
We have to have hook shot. We have to have in order to get our Kane and get into Turtle Rock. So I'm thinking that he is going to go ahead and clear out Desert Palace. I'd make the Mire Dip. I would go ahead and do it.
Well, it looks like that does put Veetorp a little bit ahead as far as getting to that go mode, though hard to say by how much. NayIeen could spend very little time in here, a whole lot of time in here.
If NayIeen goes ahead and, I mean, it's a matter of the comfort of saying, okay, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do these dark rooms. Once he gets the Fire Rod, I bet you he feels a lot more comfortable with Pod. Because chat did point out, and I agree with this, Pod is a lot. He's already done the major one that you can't light up. He's already done the true problem child of Dark Maze. Doing the turtle room is a lot easier with Fire Rod because you can actually go through, light those lamps, and see what you're doing. So less uncomfortable situation on that.
And if you miss, the room's not that hard to reset.
Very true. It's not that hard to reset at all. Like you just go north, hold north, and just wiggle your right and left back and forth, and you'll get in there sooner or later. So
gotta love that door pumping.
Exactly.
But we're going to see Trogdor strats out of Veetorp here, trying to burninate all of these Lamolus. Having a little bit of weird RNG for the first phase, but wraps it up real fast in the second cycle.
Yeah, doing a quick 2 cycle, not bad at all. 10 arrows, we knew nothing was going to be there. Maybe a sword upgrade was the only thing that could be a true quality of life upgrade. I mean, for him, I feel like Mire's the play. Unless he feels like doing dark rooms, unless he feels like are going to swamp. And maybe thinking vanilla location hookshot. I don't know. I don't like that. But where is he headed?
Yeah, it's a crummy gambit to make, you know. Which of these pendant dungeons has an item that I need to clear?
He's going to go ahead and probably do sequence breaking. So he's going to go ahead and do Eastern Palace and the pod play. So this is neck and neck right now.
Yeah, so we know that Veetorp's about to go pick up that hook shot. He is definitely going to find it here, because I can't see him going here without being willing to sequence break all of those dark rooms. And then we know that NayIeen's about to get the Fire Rod in this room, actually. Could save a fair amount of time by picking this up right now, but we'll come back for it after doing the upstairs checks.
Yeah, nobody checks this chest first. It's just, it's a time sink to do that, because it's more likely to be nothing than it is to be something.
You know, at this point, though, I think the only thing that we need for NayIeen is that sword upgrade from Spike Cave or elsewhere, and the lamp. That will be putting us in go mode at that point.
Yeah, lamp is merely a suggestion for these runners. It's just a matter of they're not going to have to do Mire Dark Room, which is one that nobody really likes to do, so they're not really worried about that. Turtle Rock Dark Rooms are not hard. So it's this is neck and neck, because Veetorp is going to be able to go mode Swamp. He has the knowledge of where silvers are at, so he's really not going to be searching for much in Swamp. He has Master Sword. If he feels at all behind because not having hook shot and finding it in this location, thinking, oh wait, my gamble paid off with Fire Rod, but I only have so much time saved from that. So it's both of these guys are thinking the same thing, just in different frames, different frame of mind. NayIeen thinking, oh man, I sequence broke the hook shot. I've got some time. It's possible that Veetorp could have done this, but he probably feels behind now because if he's like, oh man, Veetorp sequence, it went over here and did ice faster than me. That's not good. So it's one of those things where they both are probably feeling like the other runner may have done this already.
Yeah, and an interesting thing with NayIeen, once found the excuse me, the Fire Rod, kind of paused for a second, like looking at the tracker, trying to figure out like, what am I doing at this point? Possibly realizing that was pretty much go mode.
Yeah, I mean, he knows that he is in a good position. He's just going to need a sword. He might be banking on a sword being in actual GT, which is a very common occurrence. There's 2 of them that are MIA right now. He thinks 3. With honestly a lot of overworld locations not checked quite yet for him. So there's a lot banking on where he finds a sword. But I can imagine he's still going to pseudo full clear certain locations. He's going to end up having to do. He could be banking on Turtle Rock having this, which is a very possible thing as well.
Yeah, and given how much we know about the item locations throughout this game world right now, that doesn't seem that unlikely at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've had quite a few checks.
And in relatively fast order. I mean, hour 20 minutes into this seed, I was kind of expecting us to have a couple more dungeons under our belts at this point.
I mean, if you think about it, NayIeen just cleared out his Landmo. He's got 3 crystals to go, and 2 of them are going to be relatively easy for him. Hera and Pod. He's got most of Pod cleared. He just has to go to the back and do Helmasaur. Tower of Hera is going to be a quick clear. He's probably going to go to Turtle Rock first, and then do Hera last, and just mirror from there. So 1 rupee was in that dark room and the big key. So that's what was in that the U-shaped room over there.
Well, it's always nice when you can do Tower of Hera going right into Ganon's Tower. It's not that common where you get the exact right configuration to do it. Oftentimes you have to kill, Moldorm well before that. But as it turns out today, we're just going to, mirror out of there and or mirror in front of Ganon's Tower when we're done with Turtle Rock and just take the portal right back and enter that cutscene. It's always a nice thing to be able to do.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and give a heads up on this. If that's what happens, it is going to be a short big key game. So keep that in mind, chat. Don't start guessing now. Don't do it.
Yeah, you mentioned it. No, man.
Did I open the gates? No, I'm just trying to be nice to you, chat, for once.
What we'll probably do, though, is while we're climbing Tower of Hera, we'll probably start around then.
Yeah, that'll probably be the best idea, because we know he's going to get the seventh crystal without a doubt. So.
Also, Palace of Darkness, and then straight up to the mountain. NayIeen on a warpath here, and I'm kind of curious because if Spike Cave was where we were going to get an item from, or that sword, I'm trying to think of when you would go get that.
Oh man, Veetorp just with the very obvious pause of brain hurt, ouch, sequence break, hook shot, Pod. He probably just had this oh no, and. I mean, if you look at it right now too, we're in pseudo sync right now. They're both in Pod and they're both heading towards Helmasaur. That is going to be Veetorp's 4th crystal, NayIeen's 5th, but it's a quick run through on Eastern Palace because he's already done most of Eastern Palace with a check earlier. So NayIeen's got a little bit of a lead because Veetorp's got to go find the Kane, but Hookshot Cave is going to be really, I don't know, the next logical place to go.
Also, this is interesting. Presuming that NayIeen doesn't have any issues here with this dark room down in the basement, this has been quite a switch or lead change. Having finished Swamp Palace, which is traditionally one of the slower dungeons in the game, I got to think that well, actually, I have no idea what these runners feel like right now. After all the sequence breaking, hard to even say if you feel ahead or behind your opponent.
I cannot put myself in their shoes right now. I don't know how I would feel. It is definitely a scary place, considering what was skipped and sequence broken on each side. I can imagine Veetorp felt good about doing the gamble he did in Ice Palace, finding that Fire Rod, and going, oh wow, that's Fire Rod, that's great. But now that he has seen Hookshot where he has, he's probably like, oh, great, now Hookshot was in a very easy location if you think about it. Now, here's the thing still to remember. NayIeen's not as ahead as you think, because he has to find a sword upgrade. And that could very well change in a snap of a finger, because anything could be anywhere. There's 2 out there that we know of. We know that one of them was in Spike Cave, which Veetorp got, but anything that NayIeen finds in the breadcrumbs right now on the way is also going to be picked up by Veetorp. So if there's a sword right here, that's going to put Veetorp on a Fire Sword Ganon instead of Master Sword Ganon. And there's our 4th bottle.
Yeah, blue potion definitely a nice find. Not exactly what NayIeen wants most of anything, but I mean, if you think you might end up doing Master Sword again, it's not really that bad to get a blue potion, is it?
Oh no, I mean, at this point, any safety is fine. I even though it's red mail, 15 hearts, Master Sword Ganon is just a pain. There's so much involved with it.
Well, so let's just say the worst happens and NayIeen goes up to the mountain here, does Tower of Hera and Turtle Rock with Fighter Sword. I gotta think if you're out of it, I mean, you're gonna go right to Spike Cave, right?
He's doing that now. Or he might be doing Hera first. I don't know. I don't know where he's heading right now. Spy Cave's weird. It's one of those things, do you plan on doing it? Because you're in pseudo go mode right now. You're in a state of no, he's not doing Spy Cave. No, he's not going to go back to it at all.
I gotta think though, if you get yourself to the front gates of Ganon's Tower, you have a tough choice to make. Do you go in there with Fighter Sword, or do you, and after completing Turtle Rocks, with Fighter Sword, we're assuming that there's no sword upgrade in there when I say that, but if there isn't, Ganon's Tower Fighter Sword, I gotta think you check Spike Cave if you're there.
A lot of runners are banking on that with Fighter Sword going into Ganon's Tower. That Ganon's Tower has the upgrades because it's common. It's a common thing. If anything, they're considered like a part of that junk item pool. Not that they are junk items; they're really helpful. It's just something that you're not thinking that you're going to get stopped by that. He's banking on it being in Turtle Rock or being in here. He's got so many item locations, and Turtle Rock's not a go mode dungeon. There's no real technical meaning of go mode Turtle Rock. Like, we're probably going to see a Mimic Cave check because it's on the way.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. So remains to be seen what we have in those 2 remaining dungeons. We also have all of Ganon's Tower, basement to look through, and we're not missing anything we need to do all of that. So that'd be pretty straightforward. NayIeen's got to climb the tower here. Getting another fairy drop here on Veetorp's screen. That's the 3rd one I've seen this seed from him.
I've seen actually 4 different ones from just different random moments that he's gotten clutch ones. The most clutch one was over there by the crabs. That was really clutch. You can see the nerves right now though. You can see it. Little execution, like not mistakes, but just mishaps in general of like hitting the button in extra times. Like, oh man, I know they feel behind. Both of these guys are like, what is going on? And Veetorp doesn't have his cane. So I mean, neither of these runners are technically in go mode. Once Veetorp gets his cane, he is in go mode, but he goes, where does he go? Swamp Palace. Okay. So he's going to go to Swamp Palace hoping to find a cane in there. NayIeen's going to be heading into Turtle Rock after this. He's getting his 6th crystal right now. So, oh man.
Oh, we should probably start that game, shouldn't we?
No, he needs to go to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, you're right. I jumped again.
Yeah, NayIeen needs a sword. Kane was in Hookshot Cave.
Oh, so that's the moldy worm down. We got Turtle Rock next, and kind of a gut check moment here. I think if you're going to avoid Turtle Rock until you have a sword upgrade, you're going to make the decision to walk out of here. But I don't think anybody's holding up in this race. I think they're going right for the finish, even if it's Master Sword Ganon that they might end up finding before getting into Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, you check on the way up, you check in line, and Veetorp's going to find out Big 20 doing the dig game late. I knew he was going to remember that and just be like, please don't be what I need over there. Please don't be over there. He's probably, as soon as he decides to make the play up there, he's going to go... I can't imagine that he will finish Swamp Palace and not go up and check Hookshot Cave. He has really nowhere else to go.
I'm kind of wondering, where else he might end up trying to check. I mean, Misery Mire's a possibility.
Do you check Mire before you check Hookshot Cave, banking on the time save of Hookshot Cave having it?
Personally, I would check Hookshot Cave, but he could be considering both options.
Yeah, I mean, both options are kind of viable. And again, in the back of Veetorp's mind, it's probably that vanilla, that voice popping in his head. Because so far, look at it this way: 2 required pendant dips.
I mean, at this point, he's probably figured out that Lamp is almost certainly a Misery Mire, so could be thinking, hey, Lamp being there, maybe I was expected to go and grab both of these items. Hard to say. I mean, you can never really predict what's, in a runner's mind as they're going through the race. We just kind of have to approximate.
Yeah, well, he's thinking Lamp is either here or it is in Mire. So he knows it's in one of these 2 locations. And honestly, the fact that if once he clears here and finds Lamp not here, that's 1 item location in Mire down. You're banking on 1 item being the item you need in Mire. And yeah, that is a typical thing, and you're kind of used to feeling that in Randomizer, but I mean, mathematically,
statistically, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's not something that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and Kinghorn makes a very good point. This is a man who did early pendant IP, and Sequence broke that. He could go anywhere.
And he is the only one who knows that the pedestal is, silver arrows. So I'm wondering, does that show up as Light World in the Ganon text?
I don't know. I don't know what that shows up as. I don't know if he actually calls out Ped directly or if he says just Light World.
I mean, if it called out the pedestal, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, that would be funny. That would be... I would laugh. That would definitely be something that if I was a runner... I've never seen Silvers on pedestal, actually. So...
Same here, but Chain Chomp room here for NayIeen. Thankfully, we have red mail, so this isn't as scary as it normally is, but still got to watch out for him. Pretty bad RNG. We're just going to cape through that.
Yep, half magic. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So Veetorp picks up his 4th bottle as well.
With a nice safety. Veetorp has 2 blue potions at least and a fairy now. I don't remember what's in his 4th bottle. I think it's a B. I don't think he's used the B yet. No, he did use the B. Excuse me. He used the B before he threw the bottle in. So I don't know what his 4th potion is, or 4th bottle is.
I want to say he bought a blue potion and released a B, didn't he?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I actually
a little while now.
I know 2 blue potions and now a fairy. That's one thing I know for sure. So NayIeen is opting to not check that center chest. He'll find out with his next couple checks whether or not it's going to be a key, but it's very possible that could be an item. And Veetorp's going to try and beat the... There you go. I think he got that. There's a glitch on this stairwell. He got it. Okay. If you run into it the correct way and line yourself up, NayIeen is full go moding. He is not stopping to check the... Wow. Okay. So he's not checking Mimic Cave.
Yeah, that's really interesting because, I mean, there's a decent chance that there's a sword for all of the items that we have already checked. I mean, we're really limiting our item pool at this point. That glitch you were talking about, the stair glitch, definitely seen that happen a few times. You can have it happen in Palace of Darkness leading to the vanilla big key, up those stairs if you bonk into the wall beforehand. There's just a couple of glitches where you'll keep walking up and down stairs repetitively. So good of Veetorp to avoid that one there.
Yeah, and it's an unfortunate glitch to get, and that's the most common one right there that you see is the stairs leading back up to the big chest in Swamp Palace. And usually whenever people find the big key in that location, they will go back through that and have to do the loop at least once. So, but easy dark room for NayIeen going through, no problem whatsoever. Yeah, he's YOLO stratting it. I mean, it's on Veetorp going straight over to Hookshot Cave and getting that cane, and it's sword advantage at this point. NayIeen's hoping for a sword, either right here in the laser bridge, which I don't blame him for checking laser bridge at least. But very interesting skipping.
Yeah, these are relatively easy checks. I mean, laser bridge skip it looks kind of annoying, but he gets a sword upgrade.
Yep. There you go. Yep. Not even checking the last one. Straight saying go mode. He knows who he's playing against. Can't blame him at all. NayIeen at 134.15ish reaches go mode with his Master Sword. What an interesting seed so far. This is still not over by any means, but it is.
We know Veetorp's probably got a sword advantage. I can't see why he would skip the laser bridge. Well, I mean, he could skip it because of the key, but
I don't think Veetorp's going to get that.
yeah, that's rough. I mean, if he takes the extra, time to grab those chests, then he will be rewarded with a sword upgrade that will absolutely put him ahead as far as combat ability.
Yeah, I don't see him getting that. Just honestly, depending on where he goes here, because he's going to be basically a dungeon behind if he goes up to Death Mountain. He's doing it, so he's going to be going into Turtle Rock here pretty soon. He's not that far behind in terms of numbers.
Hey, speaking of numbers, we're in a boss fight on our way to... So after this boss fight's over, you mind telling our fans out there, our speed gamers, what's going to come up after this boss fight?
Absolutely. So once NayIeen gets this final hit, we are going to start the big key guessing game. There are 22 locations in Ganon's Tower. If you are a supporter of speed gaming, either a subscriber or somebody who has donated 250 bits, you can enter in this game and be put on the leaderboards. So once you see start in chat, which that is going to happen as soon as he picks up this particular crystal, you can enter in your guess. And whenever he enters Ganon Tower, we will end that, and you will be able to put your guess in. So,
alrighty, folks, get those guesses in. They're just the floodgates.
Oh man, y'all crack me up. I love you, chat. Never change.
People just waiting for like an hour and a half for the opportunity to press a number first.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh,
I
man,
love your zeal, folks. Your zealotry for this game is truly inspirational. But you have until we get to the basement, or at least we enter Ganon's Tower. That will be on your screens approximately when we see it on the basement. To get those guesses in, so you got a couple moments, folks.
What is your guess?
Well, I am a fan of Bob. I love Bob. I'm also a fan of Bob-tastic, Dr. Bob-tastic himself. Also that's go mode for Veetorp. But I'm hoping it's 14 today. What about you?
I go 11. 11's my number one guess every time because I love the fact of where it's at in the traditional route. It is in the rando room, which you only see in Randomizer, and it is also a slight variable because depending on how you check, if you go, everybody checks that bottom left chest in random room first, you can either go right and around, counterclockwise, or clockwise, so 11 changes to the top left or the bottom right. So I always choose 11.
Fair enough. NayIeen picking up a key in the second chest. Third item being a piece of heart, justly sparing Bob. Thank you, NayIeen. But didn't opt to go right side, interestingly enough, even though a lot of people have been doing that when they get a small key in the right half.
I've seen a lot of different GT strats in this particular tournament. A lot of people have been doing the Dark Magician strats, which is going left first, checking these 4 chests and locations, and then going right and going all the way to the Ice Armos. Really, when it comes to...
Did you see the double magic drop?
I think that's actually the stun prize.
Oh my god, that's such an amazing stun prize.
Yeah, we're not going to have any magic problems at all this time. So,
I'm sorry to cut you off there. That was just shocking.
Oh, no, you're fine. So that's number 8. We're going into number 9 here shortly. Oh, missing it just by a little bit. So, depending on Veetorp's strats, if once he gets through and kills Trinex, if he goes right side with that key and finds the big key, he's going to make up a lot of time. So we'll see where we're at on this because there's a lot going on. And there is a big point in chat right now. We do have Master Sword Ganon. That is a huge difference. There are runners who are well seasoned like these guys who are probably like top tier, you see these guys pull off amazing things all the time who still have Master Sword Ganon trouble. It is one of those fights that's just like you you bang your head against the table. It's so rough.
So, I mean, good thing for both of our runners is they do have blue potions, but that does not make it any easier. It just means that you can possibly recover some of your magic and, survive the fight for longer, but the actual difficulty of the fight is mechanical. You have to do a lot of sword spins, and you have to be very good at dodging, fire bats and Ganon himself. Thankfully, we do have red mail, so, I mean, it's still a very difficult challenge. There's no way to get around that part, but they are pretty well equipped for it, that being said.
Yeah, they're pretty well equipped. The problem with Master Sword Ganon is that it's only sword spins. You're limited on how many hits you get, and it's time. The longer it takes you to do this kind of fight, there's so many things that can go wrong. It's just the law of averages. So we're getting our Bob check here. Is Yuta right today? Well, it was a key.
Womp womp. But Bob lives, so you know what? I'll take the compromise.
Absolutely.
Chat bringing up a really interesting point. We don't have a lamp. Fire rod for the torch glitch or bust.
Yeah, I mean, it is half magic though. So I mean, it's rough, but it's not that rough. Vanilla, 100% vanilla. Check these couples. See if there's a sword upgrade.
That would have been 15, right?
I believe that is 15, yes. Let me just run that through my mind real quick. 3,
2 on the right,
8,
all left.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. Yep, that is officially 15.
Wait, that is 15?
Yeah, it's 15. 14 is Bob Chess.
Yes. Okay. Do you remember the command for that? Is it big key?
I think it's exclamation point BK and then space the number 15. There you go. It is big K.
Well, congratulations to I'm Ladir, or however that's supposed to be pronounced. Apologies for butchering it. You win our love and affection today, and a place on our leaderboard as well. You're the closest to guess to that, or the correct answer for that, as a subscriber or donator to Speed Gaming. Thank you.
And then you save. Yep. Sniped, Feasel.
Wow. Well, shout outs to Feasel, by the way. You're an awesome man.
Yeah, definite shout out to Feasel. Veetorp's going to be getting his.
Is this going to happen?
Yes, he is checking these, even though he can skip through. He is going to be getting his fire sword. I don't know why that was escaping.
This is gigantic, though. This is everything he needs to have right now.
Yeah, that's very useful, and a powder safety. Wow. Okay.
What in the world?
Powder safety is pretty sweet. Oh, Veetorp.
I think that's a good reason for him to take that safety door. I'm glad he did. That's definitely gonna. Oh, he has the fairy too. He doesn't even get the death warp there.
He uses the safety fairy. Oh man. But Bugnet is in the, I guess, logic or the routing period. So.
Oh no, Veetorp!
Never mind. No, he got it.
Oh, I thought that was the other chest. I was so scared right there.
No, he got the fire sword.
All right, sorry for
you had me worried for a moment. I was like, no, okay, no, he did get it. I think once he found it, that's why he noped out. That's why he was like, I'm gone.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's nice, but look where NayIeen's at. He's already past Wizrobe 1. So, this is going to be a little bit.
I mean, the time difference here, it's definitely not the difference in sword upgrade. I mean, NayIeen has to make some serious errors here for Veetorp to really catch up. I mean, as good as Ganon's Tower is with the Tempered Sword, we're still talking 6-7 minutes, even if the basement goes well. So, NayIeen definitely in a position to win this, but has to have a solid Master Sword Ganon, and that's no small task.
Yeah, I mean, Master Sword is a rough fight. I can't stress that enough. But Veetorp getting that sword is going to help a lot with time, because it's not just Ganon that's going to be making up the time. He's going to have a faster Trinex fight, as you can tell right there, went way faster. He's going to have a faster gauntlet. He can clear things a lot faster without having to use up all his magic. There's a lot that's involved with doing that. Now, NayIeen could find another sword upgrade on the way because we still are -1 sword upgrade.
Yeah, there are
So-
2 more chests that he can check, and he does get a very nice, convenient health refill. Not having that powder, that actually works out pretty well.
Yeah, so the powder is one thing that's going to be nice because, all right, we're down to 1 chest. Is it a technical, I guess you could say, gold sword situation on the final chest here behind Moldorm 2?
Well, no, it was Spike Cave, right?
Yes, Veetorp got Spike Cave. NayIeen did not.
Oh,
so we
yeah,
know where
yeah,
3 of them are. So we are one of
This could be it.
So, but that's going to help NayIeen, and it's going to make it to where spins are no longer a thing, and that's going to basically shot a lot of time save that Veetorp would get. So, doing great hammer strats on Moldorm 2, getting him down after 1 fall. So, a little bit of time makeup. Let's see if Veetorp goes full right.
Wow.
Oh, Blue Cane.
Okay, so that's an interesting item to be there. I mean, we don't really need it at all, but if you wanted to save some magic and add a ton of lag to the Ganon fight, you could technically do that.
No, you don't use that. You can't spin at it with.
But yeah,
with
exactly.
Blue Cane.
Like Master Sword, there's no point.
You can't. Yeah, no Blue Cane strats at all for Ganon because you cannot do spins. Oh, that's either
That
a
might have
double.
been triple.
I think it was a triple though. That was a really good triple. That's
Oh, and if it weren't for the blue ball, that would have been a possible double triple.
Oh, so we have 3 to 4 hits right now.
Wow,
So-
those are 2 double shots that got eaten up.
Really good Agatu fight considering that.
Yeah, for all things being said, was handed some pretty strange patterns there. Definitely workable, but they're so closely tight together that there's really no way to get those triples off.
Yeah, so at about 146.40, NayIeen's going to be heading into the Ganon fight, and Veetorp is about, I'd say, maybe 3 minutes from his big key? Maybe closer to 5?
Yeah, I mean, as long as everything goes pretty smoothly, definitely has a lot of arrows to work with for the Ice Armos fight, so shouldn't have any issues there. But it looks like Ganon's here for NayIeen. So we were talking about this before. You need a ton of sword spins to do this. You need 12 for each of these first 2 phases, if I recall correctly.
I believe so. I'm actually not entirely familiar with how many spins it is. I don't keep count whenever I do them. I just do them until he's done. He's getting pretty good RNG though, as far as where he's landing. He is in. I think that was the last hit he needed for phase 2. But really good RNG right here.
Yeah, that's 3 perfect positions in a row.
So he might get a quick phase 2. That is super fortunate for NayIeen. Gonna go ahead and do Cape. Missed the 1 cycle phase 2, but not a big deal. He's got a blue potion. He can go ahead and get him into that phase 3.
Yeah, this is a much safer way to approach it. Better to use some magic here and to make sure that you prevent yourself from taking damage if you're falling off here.
He's got 1 blue potion. He has none left to be able to do this. So
That's scary.
it is. Even with red mail, it's rough. But he's getting into phase 4. Let's see what he says. Inform us of your location of silver arrows, please, Ganon. Light World. So no call out to the pedestal.
And we
Gets
get the torch glitch.
Good job, NayIeen. See, that's why I don't like Master Sword Ganon, because if you get too close on that edge right there, you run a high risk of getting knocked off.
Well, with this fire rod, we're actually going to be able to get triples off. This is really critical.
NayIeen doing really good getting the pattern down. It's just a matter of keeping to the same motion. It's basically the best way to describe a good silverless Ganon fight. You start in front of him, you make him aim the fire bats at you, do a square input directional, and it keeps you away from the fire. The biggest thing to remember, though, is to be careful with your directional inputs if you get hit, as well as you want to make sure that you're not like getting freaked out about falling off with your spins. So,
Well, for those of you out there who've been counting, we need 24 Master Sword spins to finish this up.
and I can be honest, I wasn't counting.
I definitely wasn't. I'm just clenching right now. This is crazy.
Oh man, this is such a close race.
Oh no, in the blue.
Did he recover? Did he get a hit on that?
No, he didn't get a hit on that
Okay.
after that one. Well, we're getting a little desynced here. NayIeen's got to be very careful and keep calm for this because very close to finishing off Ganon here.
Yeah, he's got only a few more hits.
Oh, I'm at the edge of my seat.
I know it's so hard to continue speaking as a commentator just on Master Sword Ganon. Oh,
And the hit. Folks, you should buy your chairs at half off because you're only going to need the edge of it here.
he's got it. Okay. Oh man.
Whew. With one blue potion and cape strats for the entire magic meter. Oh my god. G
That was another thing,
in chat,
too.
folks.
That was another thing too. If he didn't get it by then, official SRTV time of 150.47. GG NayIeen pulling this out in a very close race. Wow, man. Wow. Yep. Well, that just happened.
NayIeen probably feeling that way.
Oh man,
Well, I definitely want to see if NayIeen's willing to join us for a chat.
I have a feeling he is. We will see about getting him in here in just a moment.
In the meantime, though, cheer Veetorp on, who is in Landmolus 2, having finished that up, looks like a 2-cycle. Also having a very fast completion of this race. With Tempered Sword, I got to think his Ganon fight's going to be much comfier and very commanding finish to that. Looks like we have NayIeen in the setup room, so I'm going to bring NayIeen in here.
Fantastic. I was just DMing him there.
And we are joined by our victor of the race today, NayIeen. Congratulations and GG.
Gee. I'm sorry, I'm still shaking, and I think I'm about to pass out any second now. That was too much.
You and many others, we were panicking a bit there with, because everything looked really good with that Ganon fight, but you wouldn't believe where you missed swords.
Do tell.
Well, Spike Cave is one of them.
I assumed Lamp was in Spike Cave, to be honest.
Lamp is most likely Meyer.
Okay.
And we never found that fourth sword.
Yeah, we
Oh.
still don't know about the fourth sword.
Yeah, so leaving Spike Cave behind was a deliberate choice, especially after getting that fire rod.
Any guesses where the silver arrows were?
No. No
Oh,
clue,
boy.
to be honest.
Well, Ganon said Light World. That was, in fact, Pedestal.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so thankfully neither of you were going to be going out of your way to be doing that. But you'll never guess where Veetorp's at. He is just finishing up Moldorm 2 with Tempered Sword. So if that, Master Sword Silverless hadn't gone well, I'm pretty sure he would have had a pretty hefty advantage on you finishing here.
Yeah, definitely. I was really scared. Checking laser bridge because I did not have any other options. It was right there. I could have headed to Trinex, but I really did not want to risk it. And
Not
it
to-
paid out really well.
The last chest you didn't check actually had powder, but not to
Oh.
mention the fact that you were actually really close to running out of magic. You only had a couple of fire rod shots left.
Two blue potions, so I wasn't too afraid of that.
Did you have a second one? I saw
for
an-
Ganon now?
Yeah,
no, for
I
Ganon
saw.
I was really close to running out. That's true.
Yeah, that's what I'm
that's
saying. For Ganon, you had used your last one.
I gotta be honest, I didn't even look at my magic bar anymore. I was so focused on trying to get to triples or not whiffing any spins. I did some near the end. But still,
we're Aghanim 2 fights as well.
Yeah, you were really close on getting a double triple on Aghanim there. For it looked like you got a triple, but we thought that it was a triple, but it looked like it was a double because that silly little bit of both of them hitting at the same time. So Veetorp is starting his Ganon fight with only a half heart, and he doesn't have that safety fairy. Yes, he does. He got one. He picked one up.
Yeah, he did actually use his bug net for that. So I mean, NayIeen, that's end of the Swiss brackets or the Swiss qualifier, I suppose. I mean, you emerged 5-2. How are you feeling right now about that?
I'm so scared because I never imagined even getting this far. Not even talking about making brackets, but getting such a good record is entirely out of this world. Especially since I think in my biography I put down that I played like 8 months before the Swiss started. That was when I first downloaded my first seed, so I did not finish a single one until people were getting hyped about the spring tournament, that kind of stuff, hanging out with people on Discord and casually racing. So to get this far in this tournament is really, really amazing.
Veetorp got his glitch there. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to kind of update on what's happening with Veetorp.
Okay, very nice. I was so scared of missing that.
No lamp and having to, that's definitely rough. So man, honestly, we mentioned this beforehand before we started. Both Yuta and I, we're friends with you. We hang out with you often, and and everything like that. I also hang out in Veetorp's chat often, and unfortunately, somebody had to win, somebody had to lose. So it was one of those things I don't have a single person I was rooting for in this. I'm glad that this was such a great race, and it was fun to watch, fun to see. But I can imagine for you, like, the nerves being there because Veetorp was the final boss,
Yeah.
Oh man, like I could just imagine Veetorp gets his Ganon kill, doing a great job on that, really showing it. And I mean, we got to see both the Fire Sword Ganon kill and the Master Sword Ganon kill. No! I thought
Moonwalk, all the swag is so
Oh.
Veetorp, madman, I love you.
About that, I couldn't have imagined any better final boss for the Swiss stage, because as a fellow programmer, I think what he's done with the randomizer is really neat. So I've done my own bit of digging through the code, and just the way that it works is pretty amazing.
Absolutely.
So I've already got mad respect for the guy, and then he's also a pretty good runner, so the pressure was on.
I've got mad respect for both of you. Like I said, there was so much internal conflict for me. I consider you both friends. I hang out with you obviously a lot, considering we're in a lot of the same Discords, a lot of the same people we hang out with, and just both of you are wonderful and do a lot for this community. Veetorp being one of the programmers and doing a lot as admin and things like that, and you being a restreamer and putting forth your time as a volunteer, doing a lot, making sure that people will get ALTTPR restreams. I mad respect for both of you. I love you both. You're great people. Let's see if we can't get Veetorp in here.
I definitely want to add to that, though. I mean, like the whole restreaming thing, folks. There have been over 500 people in this tournament, and because of actions like NayIeen's, restreaming, and also, of course, everybody, who's helping out with this thing, I believe 506 out of 512 people in this tournament got a restream. The only 6 that didn't were dropouts. So I think that's amazing, incredible feat of logistics that this tournament's been able to pull off, and everybody involved, of course, administration-wise. So Veetorp included. Shout outs to all of you guys for doing that. That's incredible, and most particularly to you, NayIeen, since I'm speaking to you. But I appreciate that you've done some of the restreams that I personally had the pleasure of commentating on.
It's a fun job, definitely, because there's all this stuff going on. It's fairly relaxed during a race, but setting up and all that stuff, we're about to be joined by Veetorp, so I'll shut up.
I'm gonna bring him on.
Gracious thing to say.
Oh,
We are
nothing much,
joined
to be
by
honest.
Veetorp. GG, and congratulations on finishing this seed with the swag, I have to mention.
Sure.
That was awesome.
It was amazing to see. Yeah, GG for me as well. Honestly, just to kind of preface, I could not have commentated a better match. I love both of you guys. Mad respect for both of you. I'm good friends with NayIeen. I hang out with him often. I'm in your chat often. I was in awe just watching you two race each other, and it was such a great match. Y'all were always in different spots, always doing amazing gambles. By the way, Ice Palace, what the?
I was feeling behind.
I was wondering
Same.
about that.
I was feeling very, very, very. Actually, it was everything I did up until the mini Moldorm cave in the Light World felt like I had made every single possible wrong choice and got nothing. I got like penalized for every choice I made. Like, as soon as I had an opening, I'm like, the only dungeon I can complete right now is Ice Palace, and it's a pendant. Now, what the hell? Let's do it. I felt so behind. I'm just like, I kind of like lost hope at that point.
It took me a lot of time to get to that point because I skipped Skull Woods early on, only heading back there really, really late, like an hour 10, 20. I don't really remember, but I felt horrible. Like, what is going on? This is the end.
Yeah, and that was one of the major differences was both of you went to the Dark World around the same exact time over by Thieves Town and Village of Outcasts, and Veetorp went north, you went south. So you started doing those clears, and he got his bombos, and we were both like, yeah, that could be a big difference because we don't know what the medallion for Turtle Rock is. We don't know what we don't know if that bombos is going to be the access to Ice Palace that have to dip. And after a while, like, I look over to the left and I see you starting to clear Thieves Town, and you get the first sword. And Veetorp finally makes his way into that, and all of a sudden he gets a sword and he's in Ice Palace. And I'm like, why is he in Ice Palace? And he is sequence breaking. He didn't have the hook shot because you sequence broke the hook shot and did Dark Room Pod and got the hook shot. So you did Ice pseudo, like I say pseudo because Lamp had to be in Mire. So you did pseudo like actual in logic, and he was just bomb jumping. He's like, nah, I'm gonna do this, and he gets that fire run, and it was like, oh wow, that's huge. The amount of sequence breaks that were done, just good lord.
Can we talk about one particular one? Rescuing the old man, and I lost a solid 2 or 3 minutes to that because I did not know where I was. I did not know I already picked up the old guy and got a bit lost. I was in the room with him, save and quit, respawned right at the same spot, and panicked.
He didn't
That
know
was the
where
only
he was
thing
at.
I felt. Panic.
Yeah, when you're in Dark Room.
He saved and quit twice because you could tell he was like, I don't know where I'm at, and he did bomb strats at one point. He was doing shovel strats at one point, doing the dash steps. He was like, I'm not sure where I'm at right now.
Yeah, so I seriously had to reorientate myself, pulled out the map of the dark room, and then just dashed in random directions until I found a spot that I could recognize. And oh god.
Oh yeah, that would be. I was fighting my D-pad this entire race. I swear, every single time I press up, it would like go up left, and when I'd press like down or right, it would do the other diagonal. It was just like the entire time. I actually had to like swap out my controller real fast. I'm like, okay, and then the other one was just as broken on the A button. I'm like, all right, I'll fight the D-pad.
You still haven't gone through the graveyard to make one complete controller, huh?
I've been trying.
1 player, 2 controllers, percent win.
I have this envisionment of Veetorp sitting there with 2 controllers on the desk and like literally almost like typing on 2 controllers.
I think Wild Anaconda and I did one player or two controllers, one game, the one mind thing at AGDQ. That was a lot of fun.
I've seen people do the one mind NMG run, which is nuts. So I mean, I get the feeling that that's kind of more up your alley, isn't it, Veetorp?
Actually, we did a one mind randomizer. It was a lot of fun.
Oh wow!
For those of you out there who don't know what we're talking about, there is actually a ROM hack out there that allows you to change control of Link between two different people at a certain time interval constantly, and it's just absolute chaos to play, but very fun.
Yeah, it's I've seen it with Mario, Super Mario World, and seen it with Super Mario World hacks with 4 different people doing it, and it would flip between 4 different people at any given time. So you literally, it's so crazy. But yeah, all those locations, by the way, yeah, all 3 of those items were all in Mini Moldorm Cave. So
I was very upset about Mini Moldorm Cave when I got there.
Your fireworks were an indication. Shout outs to the collection rates though. NayIeen with 169 of 216, Veetorp with 165 of 216.
Yeah, it just speaks to how close this race really was.
Man, I just GG to both of you. NayIeen being the winner of this. Any final thoughts?
Nothing but chi-chis. I couldn't have picked a better partner a better opponent if I had the choice.
Hey, you're not wrong though. I mean, I think Veetorp's on everybody's team, right?
Oh yeah,
Right.
Yeah, just watch out, bees everywhere for the next 3 weeks.
He's playing all of us. Let's be honest.
Feels like bees.
I don't know. The randomizer is sentient. It's playing against. It's broken away. It's no longer.
I wanted to ask you about that, Veetorp. How does it feel, after all the way since, I think you got involved around, what was it, version 5?
Yeah, 6.
How does it feel to have all this, morph into what it has? I mean, gigantic tournament, thousands of people, speed gaming broadcasts to so many. I mean, this has got to feel like a great pride moment, right?
Little baby's growing up.
And turning against its master.
That's what teenagers do.
Apparently. Well, hey, hopefully in the adult phase of Randomizer, it's going to start taking care of you, right?
That'd be nice.
Veetorp, any final thoughts, man?
I'm glad that I'm finally done with the Swiss. Probably knocked out of the tournament, which means I get to go back to just doing admin stuff and working on the randomizer. Thank you to everyone watching, to you guys for commentating, to our trackers and our restreamers, and Speed Gaming for putting this on, and ALTTPR for doing the overflow of the matches. We got huge chunk of stuff coming with the brackets, and then I think we're gonna have another small announcement tournament-wise after this probably at the end of brackets.
Exciting
well,
stuff.
That's not something I'm aware of. That'd be exciting to tune in for. But folks, if you're looking to tune in for more Randomizer, there is a lot more on the schedule still for this week. Is the final round of Swiss, as Veetorp just mentioned. Today, though, we have starting in about 10 minutes on Speed Gaming 3, we have Solski versus Estragon 0. And at 5 on Speed Gaming, the primary channel, will be Zero Rush versus Furaim, which will be a really exciting match. We have more matches going on, 6, 7, 8, 2 of them at that hour, all the way into 11:30 p.m., several more in between there. So if you're looking for Randomizer, the best way for you to catch it all is to follow all the Speed Gaming channels, Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 5. And then, of course, ALTTP Randomizer and ALTTP Randomizer 2 through 4 as well. Definitely want to take a moment to thank everybody, as we all kind of passing around the thanks here, for tuning in, helping with this broadcast. And if you liked what you saw, give these guys a follow. They're fantastic members of this community. I definitely recommend. You're gonna see plenty more great Randomizer out of these two.
Absolutely, and can't say it enough as well. Don't forget to follow not only my co-com Yudamonistic. I cannot speak your name very well. That's why I call you Yuda. And also our tracker, Dragon, doing a fantastic job. Just give all the Speed Gaming channels a follow, all the ALTTPR channels a follow. You're going to get your alerts, so that way you can watch more Randomizer, as well as other games. Speed Gaming isn't just Randomizer. There's plenty of other races that happen, some fun tournaments that you can see that other people put on that Speed Gaming does host. So plenty of good stuff out there.
And
Well, with
if I
that-
haven't said it in the interview yet, GG's again, Veetorp. That was amazing.
GG.
Well, I think with that, we should probably tie a knot in this so that we can get everything set up for the next couple of races coming up here. I have been Uday Monistic, and today I am joined by...
Unknown availability. And I hope y'all have a wonderful day, guys, and we will see you around. Please join us.
Thanks for tuning in, and catch you next mission.